All right, MA Marignon, turn 78. Definitely no nerves about this turn whatsoever. Let's see if we can pull this off. We have a lot more rituals this turn than normal because we're trying to do a lot of magic phase nonsense. I forgot to mention, we are trying to save some of our grandmasters with this spell that removes the disease from them. Perhaps a waste of fire gems. But considering this whole plan is built around what most people consider a waste of fire gems, I'm fine with it. So let's see, Rim Mountains, this is our first magic phase attempt. This is the one where we're not really expecting a lot of resistance, though Airyu could have moved out. No, they didn't. So, we managed to fool them. Again, like I said, I think the commitment from a lot of the players is somewhat low at this point, which is partially like why this throne is where it is. I do think we could grind out the win. I've perhaps been a little slow in my victory, honestly. So I do wonder if people are just kind of waiting for the release. So that one works out, but, again, it's kind of just garbage here. We did normal phase move in, some mages. So if there is a magic phase answer, we have a chance of defeating it, but considering how much magic phase Airyu has available, we're certainly not out of the woods yet. Of course, we will be magic phasing a fort onto this province this turn. I'm just not really sure, which one triggers first. If our fort goes up, then we're good, assuming that the other battles work out. This is the other battle. So this one we invested a lot more into, right? We have Wailing Winds and, of course, nothing from Asphodel is here. In theory, Asphodel could have also magic phased. I'm not really sure how that works. The Locusts go in immediately. We can't script them. We do have... Yeah, I think that was Mass Protection that went off. At least I think that's what went off. These guys do have a good amount of natural protection normally. We have a few other things. I think we also got Fog Warriors off. Yeah, we did. So these guys are pretty nasty, but there's not that many of them. And the Almish troops are kind of nasty as well. And these guys I don't think have fantastic defense, and there's just not that many of them. We are summoning, a good amount of elementals. And then, we have some wolves in here to just mix things up. Wailing Winds is a big deal. I'm not sure where our Wailing Winds guy went. He must have taken damage somehow. I don't know how. So he's a ringer returning. Actually, no, I think he has the artifact that gives him returning. It's an armor piece. It's a good thing we had it because we didn't actually have a spare ringer returning. So not sure what happened there, but this is looking pretty good. Hopefully we provided enough gems. Yeah, we did load up on, quite a lot of gems. So if Asphodel normal phase moves in, we should still have a good amount of gems available for more elementals. We do some blood hunting. This has expanded a little bit, but we do want to increase this. Though, hopefully all moot. Somebody gets assassinated, Oh yeah, these are our thugs. It's too bad it hit the werewolf. I'm not sure if our other guy would have done too well. Oh, yeah, bugs. We do have a good amount of poison resistance on the other guy. And this guy does have a vine shield, but the water elementals are really dangerous. So, I don't know. This is one of the more heavily kitted ones. So it's certainly not impossible. Ooh, howl. I feel like you don't see that in a assassination battle all that often. Usually it's just the swarm. This is definitely, a primo assassin. And he takes out our relatively expensive thug, so that does hurt. But again, we're hoping that all the rest of this is going to be irrelevant. But, I can't help myself. Got to at least take a look at some of these. I think here, pretty normal raid. Probably diseased. Oh, yeah, these lizards that dissed one of our werewolf thugs, the attacking one, or the one that was built around a lot of attacks. Here's a fire elemental, some fire magic. We'll see. Lizards are still really dangerous. Oh well. He was probably had like one hit point. Probably should have given him a few more bodyguards. I guess he could only hold one more. Things are a little stretched in places. And then, speaking of diseased fellows who are raiding, there's not a lot of province defense here, so we should be able to take this. Famous last words. So, Airyu should maybe invest a little more in province defense in some places, because those lizards have paid dividends so far. Killed a grandmaster, a werewolf thug, a lot of gems. Here we are getting raided. We have some province defense. Is not going to pay dividends. Yep, standard stuff. Actually, hold on. Sometimes I miss my mage. No, there's no mage in the back. So yeah, this is not going to work out for us. So not sure where this is, but, it's fine. Well, eventually we'll get them. We take control of a province. This is probably, this is in our territory, the area you raided. They're not really leaving any PD behind. I guess normally I do like to leave some province defense behind just to see, what retakes it. But I guess, if area, they're doing some deep raiding and they're not really planning on holding it, I don't think. Although it would be, they might want to hang out and destroy counter raiders. I don't know. I think taking provinces and leaving no province defense is just not, I don't like. But, I don't know. It does save you 1 gold, I guess. This is one of our heavier raids. We were hoping to catch some centaurs, I think. This is against Asphodel. This should work out. We have a ton of stuff here. And then let's see, we have a raid against Ariu somewhere. This, looks pretty standard fire elemental stuff. No province defense either. This might actually be... No, this can't be the fort. I'm not sure where this is. Those guys did look diseased. Of course, a lot of our units are diseased, so that still doesn't really narrow things down. And of course, we get attacked by the AI, because of course we do. And then, unfortunately, we did move out some guys, some fire elemental fellows, because we figured that the AI might come for us. So, we'll see. And then we have our super combatant who was clearing throne defenders for us. Hasn't had a chance to get rekitted, so his kit is pretty bad for this sort of situation. But, he is pretty dangerous, and he's probably our best chance at killing... this guy who does have quite a bit of fire resistance, probably because he's a fire 3. Though Pillar of Fire, still very dangerous. The fire elemental's kind of going all over the place. Fire elemental's still pretty dangerous. I don't know, we'll see. This guy at least has no regeneration, but at 29 hit points, 29 protection with 98 hit points left. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe an HP route? I think that's what we got, because the AI doesn't really understand how to mix in super combatants, which I understand. I have problems with that as well. So that works out for us. It does cost us some stuff, but, that's okay. And then we have some more attacks. This is against Ariu somewhere. Probably also some diseased fellows. Oh, yeah, we have a diseased throne mage who's going to put body ethereal on. Uh-oh. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. I don't know where the abomination came from. I'm assuming this is, the Earth King. I feel like we fought this army a couple of times. It keeps reconstituting and coming back out. So, we are trying to build up another army on top of our throne. So it looks like Ariu is maybe trying to go the other route of, trying to kill or trying to capture one of the thrones under our control. This is a more heavily kitted werewolf. Kind of. I don't know. We sort of just threw out... the shock stuff is pretty relevant considering what we're going to be up against, but we'll see. Against all these sacreds with the pierce from the spears, we just don't have enough regeneration. We really needed a vine shield there. But the plan was not to bump into a giant army, so we'll maybe have to deal with this. We'll see. And then I think this is us kicking the AI off of one of our forts. He did decide to hang out. Because, who knows? Really, it's just the super combatant that might be dangerous. The AI does like to cast Phoenix Pyre, and this guy does have a reinvigoration item on him, so that could actually be a bit annoying. I don't know what the Tartarian chains do. Oh, interesting. It looks like it gets a chance to enslave mind whenever it hits someone. That could be pretty dangerous. I don't think we have... we don't really have any super combatants here, thankfully. So, we'll probably lose some of our Knights of the Chalice. We do have some Paladins with Great Swords of Sharpness. It'd be sad if we lost them. But, again, we'll probably HP route this, I'm thinking, before this guy really has a chance to do much. We have a few Soul Slays coming out as well. I think there was a Petrify or something, or we probably paralyzed him. So, this should work out. The AI, not fantastic, but they do get a lot of resources. So they definitely can be annoying to fight. We get raided somewhere by Ariu. This is on the border. Ooh. Let's see. Looks like they're moving out. This looks like one of those forces that was in the fort, which is probably good news because it's now out of range. Although, again, it's really just going to be the magic phase. I think that's going to matter the most. Hopefully a bunch of those casters that was part of that army that had the abomination came from one of the neighboring provinces that, we're worried they're going to jump all those commanders onto the throne province we're trying to grab. Because if they don't have access to a lab this turn, then, they can't magic phase in and attack us. So we lose a province there, but that's okay. We just have a scout there. Not sure. Clearly forgot to put province defense there. And then this is what we're hitting Asphodel with. No, not Asphodel. Ashdod. And we're just trying to lock this fort down, although, again, it might be irrelevant because, all the mundane forces may have just moved out. That maybe is what we saw, and possibly all the casters snuck out to join, that army that we saw. So I think we're going to come away with this. Normally, like slingers, it's not a problem. Kind of terrified about slingers here. We do have body ethereal, but most of these guys are diseased. Yeah, and pretty close to death. So like pretty much just one rock getting through, and that's a caster. Like, yeah, you can see this is not going well. We didn't give these guys any gems either. We didn't have any fire gems, so they're just purely doing like fire evocations, and they're not getting out as many as I would hope. Probably, a lot of them are like crippled and just like all the afflictions under the sun. So it looks like we maybe have been completely routed. Yeah, there you go. Armies of Marignon are routed. So it doesn't matter whether those guys have moved out or not. We didn't lock this down. We also don't really lose. I mean, this is really more, showing how painful Burden of Time can be and those Wells of Pestilence, but I think really more Burden of Time. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter that we lost these guys in this battle because we were going to lose them anyway, but this is starting to add up. So like I said, if we don't get that win this turn, hopefully, like we'll set up the claims and nobody magic phases in and prevents us and we get our forts up. If that doesn't happen, then we'll probably have to deal with Burden of Time by a Dispel. This is Asphodel getting raided by the AI Phlegra. They don't really have anything here. The AI is a firm believer in attacking every province that it can every turn. Can teach you like kind of efficient counter rating, at least against like random garbage, which is of questionable utility. Sometimes it can matter, but it at least is very good about pressuring you all over the place. And I'm assuming that this Iron Angel will be able to come away with it. There are a few mages here, eventually the AI just starts throwing a bunch of mages in, and sometimes they cast something useful by accident, but yeah, like these are very low level mages. The Phlegrans, you really need like a proper communion setup. I'm not even sure that the AI ever sets up communions. It's certainly very rare if they do. So yeah, that Iron Angel comes away with it against the random Phlegran garbage from the AI. And then yeah, we're just raiding some Shinyaman province. This is with a Wraith Lord that I think we stole. There's a good amount of, well no, I think some of these are actually, I think we mind hunted the commander for these because we didn't want these Bakemono raiding us. This guy has kind of a random grab bag of gear. Pretty high fatigue, but the Soul Vortex should take care of that. So yeah, that works out for us, and that's good. We would like to eliminate Shinyama if this game continues for Dominion purposes. And then we raid Airyu somewhere else, probably more diseased fellows. Maybe not. Oh yeah, this is diseased paladin we're just trying to get rid of. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out. I don't know why the PD investment is so high over here. But yeah, that paladin was not long for this world and figured, well, Aryu's been putting really low province defense numbers in a few other places. Might as well give it a shot, but that's not the case here. That now we have room to recruit another paladin who is not diseased, though probably will become old and diseased pretty quickly. And this looks like a similar situation where Asphodel was hoping, yeah, that, Ulm left little or no province defense. Maybe going to try to snipe the commander? Nope, just a ping. Then we have another attack against Airyu. I feel like these have not been going well this turn. Yes, this is just some Bakemono that we had. Not a lot of province defense here, so yeah, I think this one's going to work out. Yeah, we do lose a few Bakemono, but that's the nature of Bakemono raiding. And then we get raided somewhere. At least I think this is a raid from Asphodel. Yeah, fairly deep in our territory, this Centaur group. Probably should just mind hunt this lady. Yeah, magic resistance 10. I think that's exactly how we're going to deal with this group. Note to self. We just may not have the casters and or kit available. But yeah, they've managed to pick another province that doesn't have answers, only has Jaguar Tribe. So doing a good job of being annoying. Speaking of annoying, we get attacked by the AI in another location. All right, this is their pretender. I don't think we have a defense here. Yeah, just a bit of PD. So this is going to work out for the AI. We'll deal with him eventually, maybe. Hopefully we won't have to deal with him and he just be loose. Ideally, he would head towards Ulm's territory. Interestingly, he did not choose to jump on top of the throne province. Perhaps it felt that there was too much stuff there. We were not patrolling, so it would have worked out. Yep. Oh, there's probably some assassination going on, I feel like, or maybe some mind hunting. Actually, I don't know. All these guys have taken damage, murdering Winter. I don't know. Something bad, definitely. So, obviously, Asphodel knew that that was the case. And, it's perhaps what that other Harpy attack was about, right? And that was a case where the assassination attempt failed, but in this case, it worked out. I saw Ulm had named one of their commanders Suicide Squad. That was fairly deep in Asphodel's territory, which I got a laugh from. I think that's pretty appropriate. It's kind of how I feel about a lot of my guys that I send into Asphodel's territory. And I don't know what this is. I mean, it's a raid, I guess, against Arahu. He's got no gems. He's got no bodyguards. He's not diseased. I don't know. This feels like maybe a misclick. This might be like our own territory, and I was just expecting like no province defense. But, there is province defense. It's not very much, or it's not very good. We still actually have a chance. Come on, buddy. Body ethereal. Yeah, he's in melee now, so he's screwed. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but it did not work out for us. Yeah, our rating record against Arahu, I feel like this turn, not so hot. Not all of them have failed. In fact, in general, I'd say, here's another one of these Centaur squads. Fantastic. Very low MR, though. So, we do have Mind Hunt gear running around. Wait, didn't we already see this? Yeah, that was definitely a misclick. So, this is our Storm. And, oh no, Asphodel came out. I accidentally clicked on it very briefly. There were a lot of casualties, but I'm not sure for which side they were. Probably both. So, yeah, it looks like Asphodel managed to sneak a bunch of stuff out. They did have a lot of stuff nearby. Okay, they're going for a fatigue play, it looks like. We're going through our normal stuff, so they have Rigor Mortis up. Yeah, we have Arrow Fend. Not going to be particularly useful in this case, but our fire magic is going to be pretty useful. We do have a paladin here to deal with any really nasty thugs, but with a great sort of sharpness. He's probably not going to live to make it through. Asphodel also putting up Fog Warriors, which is even more impressive for them than it is for us, because I don't think they have any summons that can do that. It's perhaps their Pretender that did that, or yeah, they do have a Sorceress here. Yeah, wow, a Sorceress with a Bag of the Winds, a 40 gem item. But, for the right moment, it's a big deal. I think we're going to lose this. You can see the fatigue is really starting to stack up. And, while our troops are better, managed to take over one of our fire, or maybe they summoned their own fire elemental, actually. Yeah, there's probably enough chaff. Yeah, here comes the fire elemental. I'm pretty sure that just got summoned. We'll see. Yeah, our knights are... No, they're still awake. Do we have relief up? I don't think so. Yeah, they have relief up. So we weren't really planning on fighting a major battle with this army. We were kind of hoping that this fort would just be empty. Asphodel did a good job, I suspect. No, actually, maybe some of these mages might have been magic phased into the fort, in a preceding turn. One of the disadvantages about not taking, the fort really quickly. We do still have something of a chance, but yeah, you can see even our flagellants are mostly asleep at this point. We are bringing in a lot of bugs. I'm not sure why we have so many bugs. It's never a bad thing to have bugs. Somebody probably had extra gems, or perhaps a communion collapsed. Somebody didn't cast, say, relief, and instead made a ton of bugs. So yeah, this is not looking good. This isn't the end of the world, because this isn't critical to us winning the game, right? I'm not actually... we'll see. Famous last words. There's still a few battles to go through, but so far we haven't even actually been attacked in that throne location that's in Asphodel's cap circle. And the majority of their stuff can only normal phase movement. And probably a lot of their magic phase movement, I don't know, but clearly there's a lot of really useful, valuable stuff here. This is a major investment from Asphodel. So while I do think they're going to win this battle, this fort is pretty far away from the location where we really want Asphodel to not be able to defend. So, this army is a really expensive decoy, which is kind of its purpose. It's if it could take the fort, great. We wanted it to take Nabah as well, but I kind of figured it was going to need reinforcement to take Nabah, because we saw that's the capital that's really close by to this location. we just saw that Asphodel had a ton of stuff in there. Like, yeah, pretty much everybody is asleep now. I think this is going to be a total wipe on our side, which, yeah, like I said, very painful decoy. But we did at least kill a lot of chaff. We probably didn't kill all that many mages. There's some chance that the battle times out. No, I don't think there's any chance the battle times out. So anyway, yeah, it was a very painful loss. But hopefully, wait a minute, maybe somehow we didn't lose that, because it says there's a battle. We were trying to storm this turn. Realm of Silence, Realm of Silence. Wow. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to watch this again. I don't know how we could have possibly won that. It was still pretty painful for us. We do at least kill a frog, and I mean that completely seriously. It's one of those twice-born mages, so yeah, it'll come back, but happy to be rid of him in this form. Otherwise, we don't manage to kill any mages. We do kill a lot of chaff, and in return, we lose almost everything, including most of our mages, so I don't imagine this storm's going to go well. So I've run the battle forward. Asphodel is the attacker, so they will rout on turn 90, battle round 90 up here. And, like, yeah, I think it's just a case where, like, they had a lot of chaff that wasn't that killy. You know, we did have a combination of Mass Protection and Fog Warriors. This is, I'm guessing, I mean, a lot of this isn't even Asphodel's national chaff, but, you know, yeah, this is probably why people are like, well, you know, Asphodel isn't even that great as a free spawn nation, because their chaff is not that killy, but, you know, this is sort of just a situation of, like, a lot of wolves, and then also skeletons and stuff just not being able to chop through, like, some fairly tough units. So, like, yeah, you know, we're able to hold out. But this is basically a loss for us, because I think the rest of these guys, we're going to go ahead and skip over one battle just for now to see the remnants. I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure we had more than just this survive. But yeah, anyway, for whatever reason, this is the only person that chose. I think this might even be one of the communion slaves. No, I mean, obviously they picked up a lot of gear, so God only knows, like, what they're scripted to do. Yeah, flying shards. I don't think this is going to work out for us. But, you know, at least, yeah, they actually managed to retreat off. Our Harbinger survives. That's probably the most important thing. It's kind of nice that, you know, a few other mages lived, but that army was almost completely wiped out. So that's definitely not in the good news side of things. But like I said, we're going to write it off as a distraction. And then we get attacked in a location. And yeah, Asphodel managed. We are trying to catch this group. I had moved some stuff nearby, but they picked the correct province. We only have PD here. So we're going to lose that one, but, you know, like, we're not too worried about these raiding groups. We will get them eventually, and then we do manage to catch a battle with Vanheim. They're still alive. Yeah, they actually cracked a fort. They're using, I think these are some mercenaries, or there are some provinces that allow you to recruit them. They're kind of rare. Yeah, and this one's empty, so Vanheim is able to take this. And then we get struck by lightning. Yeah, last turn, I really wondered, like, I thought I'd moved out the troubadour that I had that was hiding in Asphodel's throne province. And I was really confused, like, what could possibly have come over me, because that's one of the most important provinces in the game right now. But then I realized that he'd been struck by lightning and killed. So I like to think that he was singing songs and telling tales to the few poor wretches that are left in Asphodel's cap circle about how there's another god out there, Midas, that's coming to save them all. And then, you know, right as he's in the middle of it, he just gets struck by lightning. This turn, we lose a witch hunter, definitely, possibly more troubadours. It doesn't tell us. But importantly, I do not see, unless I missed it, which is possible, but it looks like we did not get attacked on Asphodel's throne province. So assuming we can survive any magic phase attacks and, you know, we get the forts up, I do think this is a victory. So we'll see. I've been wrong before. Yeah, I guess we should check to make sure the independents don't have something to say. Doesn't look like there's any attacks anyway. Yeah, Scorching. Yeah, this is us. So this is on top of this throne province. You know, we do want to keep it warm. It's not super critical, but yeah. It definitely won't hurt us, and there's not a lot of people left to kill with these scorching wildfires anyway. And we did at least sing them a few songs before we got struck by lightning. Vegetarians have taken root in one of our provinces. This is a disaster. We'll definitely have to send an inquisitor out there. Barbarian scouts, because of course. And then, hey, the harvest truly exceptional. Probably in a place that doesn't matter, but, you know, we'll take it. Oh, and then we lose province income somewhere else, which is fine. We do patrol out a good number of probably scouts. Yeah, an Ariu scout, which is nice. Yes, which probably doesn't matter. Asphodel, which definitely does matter. And then Falegra, which definitely does not matter. And then one other Harpy Scout. So the more of these scouts from Asphodel that we remove, the less that they're going to be able to pick the right provinces to attack, or they'll at least have to do it more slowly. We do finish construction of fortification on top of a throne province, which is somewhat important. We also upgrade forts in some places to castles. I think these are both throne provinces. Probably won't be relevant, but I figured probably should start upgrading them into citadels just in case this does go long and we get attacked somewhere else. We breach Ermor. This is one of Shiniyama's forts, and then this is another group of lepers where our previous group of lepers failed, but we do at least breach this again. And then, of course, we only have Naba locked down with our super combatant. We have some patrolling, a little bit of starvation, and a couple people die of disease. And I will catch you guys after the jump. All right, this is the situation and what we're doing about it. We're probably going to go through this one relatively quickly because theoretically we are going to win this coming turn. So we do have the throne claims going on. So we have a claim here, and then we should have a claim down here. Yeah, here he is. And then, of course, we also have the claims from our archangels. Here's the one in Aryu's territory. So with those 4 claims, that should give us the 8 thrones and 16 points that we need. I did look up the magic phase rules. The rituals are cast in a random order, but any battles that result from rituals occur after all of the rituals have been cast. So if I'm understanding that correctly, there's no way to interrupt our forts, our magic phase forts, from going up. So even if they get immediately locked down by enemy, magic phase attacks, we still get a chance to claim the thrones. Pretty much, I think the only way this doesn't work out is Wrath of God. So the Archangels are pretty safe. I think they have enough hit points, and they do have a little bit of shock resistance as well. They'll probably survive getting struck. But 2 of our claims are being made by old men in robes, and if they're struck by lightning, they will definitely die. And if I'm reading, that spell correctly, it seems like everybody has a 1% chance of getting hit, no matter what. It is definitely influenced, by the Dominion, and also interestingly by the scales. So I guess it's more likely in areas that have turmoil. So probably should have made some shock resistance gear for these guys. We definitely could have. That was just an oversight on my part. I'm not sure, even, we'd need a lot of shock resistance gear, I think. But you can get the shock resistance pretty high. But yeah, these guys are pretty fragile. So that's definitely one downside, of trying to do a throne rush with, some human level HP units. But of course, Holy Threes don't exactly grow on trees, so, we're using what we have. It should work out if one of them does die. We do have some Holy Threes nearby. There's one in this army that we could probably fly over to this throne. Like I said, I'm kind of counting on the Archangels surviving, and we are trying to move another Holy Three down. As I realized this, we recruited one in our capital. And so he's going to take 2 turns to fly down to this other throne. So in the unlikely event that we do get taken out, we still have a chance. Because the wizard towers have quite a lot of wall integrity. We have enough earth income. We can cast, I think it's iron walls. There's a ritual that just increases the wall strength of a fortification and repairs damage. So as long as it doesn't get instantly cracked, which it might, because this is a ton of siege strength here. But assuming that it doesn't get instantly cracked, then we'll have the chance to buff the walls back up, and we might still be able to pull it off. People are, of course, aware at this point that we are throne rushing, so if this fails, our life will probably get a little bit harder. Though, like I said, I think we're probably already fighting everyone who's kind of still committed to the game, with the exception of Ulm. So this might trigger a war with them. We took a look at this throne over here that Ulm has. Doesn't look very well defended. I mean, there is this army in the way. But anyway, if this doesn't work out, we are striking out with a lot of our armies. We're going to jump on top of Flegra here with this army. We'll probably combine with this army here. We'll leave this in place to defend this throne. We haven't activated this yet, but we'll probably gateway it out to some location, right? We might magic phase a fort in here. We're sending an army out to attack Aryu here. So if this doesn't work out, we'll probably strip a lot of the defenses that we've left in place against Yis and try to use those to win, more conventionally. I do think that, given a few turns, particularly if we're able to gateway reinforcements up here, we should be able to control this area against Aryu. So that means we just need one more throne, because I don't think we'll be able to hold this long term. But we are moving a lot of stuff forward against Asphodel. So assuming we can beat, this stack, then we will be able to grab this throne, but, we'll have to reassess. Also of note, the Garthan army that I thought maybe, was destroyed and had disappeared, it's still alive and well. It's hanging out in Jotunheim's capital. So it looks like they've been busy clearing the AI out, and while we would be able to hold this area against Ariu, this army could be a bit of a problem, so yeah, hopefully the throne rush works. Otherwise, all the normal like recruitment, forging, this, that, and the other. Of note, we are going to try to dispel Burden of Time, because mostly just to see like how much investment there was in it. I think we're throwing something like 41 pearls at it. Our caster is I think it's actually our pretender. No, and it's someone else. I think we're only like Astral 4 or maybe 5, so we don't have much of an overcast. So we'll probably only dispel it if it's a relatively close to minimum cast. Like I said, this is partially just because I'm curious, how much investment there was in it, but also if we do fail the throne rush and this starts to go longer, I think it is going to be worth getting rid of that. Even if Asphodel manages to put it back up, that's death gems that they're investing in that and not in making all of our armies full of lepers. So kind of a high-level overview this turn, but again, hopefully this game is over, and I think that more or less covers turn 78.